One king, one terrifying letter, one desperate prayer, and in a single night, God changed the course of history. This is the incredible story of King Hezekiah, the king who discovered that no army is greater than the power of God. When Hezekiah became king of Israel, he found a nation that has drifted far away from God. Idol has filled the land, and many people has forgotten the Lord. Unlike the king before him, Hezekiah made a courageous decision. He destroyed the idols, reopened the temple, and led the people back to the worship of the one true God. This reminds us that every lasting change begins when we put God first. Not long afterward, a terrifying enemy appeared. Sennacherib, the powerful king of Assyria, invaded Judah after conquering many nations. He mocked the living God and sent a threatening letter demanding that Jerusalem surrender. Humanly speaking, Judah had no chance of surviving. Instead of trusting in his army or his own wisdom, King Hezekiah carried the letter into the temple and spread it before the Lord. Then he prayed with complete faith, acknowledging God's greatness and Judah's total dependence on him. He prayed, "Lord, you alone are God over all the kingdom of the earth." God answered through the prophet Isaiah, "Do not be afraid because of the words you have heard." That very night, the angel of the Lord entered the Assyrian camp and struck down 185,000 soldiers. By morning, the mighty army that had terrified the nations had been completely defeated. Sennacherib returned home in shame, and Jerusalem was saved, not by sword, but by the mighty hands of God. The whole nations witnessed a truth that still encourages us today. When God's people trust Him completely, He is able to do what no human power can accomplish. King Hezekiah teaches us that God must always come first. Israel suffered because they lost sight of the true God and allowed worldly influences to take its place. In the same way, anything that takes God's place in our hearts can slowly pull us away from Him. Seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Matthew 6:33. When the frightening letter arrived, Hezekiah did not panic. He prayed. Instead of allowing fear to control him, he placed the problem before God. What looked impossible to man became an opportunity for God to display His power. Remember this: your greatest problem is never greater than God's greatest power. Prayer should never be our last option. After everything else has failed, it should be our first response in every situation. Don't wait until life becomes hopeless before turning to God. Walk with Him daily. Seek His guidance and trust Him with every decision. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplications, with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Philippians 4:6. Hezekiah also reminds us to approach God with humility. He recognized that victory will not come through human strength, but through God's mercy. On the other hand, Sennacherib became proud, believing his success came from his own power. Pride always leads people away from God, but humility invites His help. God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. James 4:6. No matter what threatening letter arrives in your life, whether it is bad news, sickness, financial hardship, disappointment, or fear, bring it to God in prayer. Lay it before Him, just as Hezekiah did. Never forget, what looks impossible to you is an opportunity for God to reveal His glory. When you place your battles in God's hands, He can change your darkest night into your greatest testimony. May the Lord strengthen your faith, give you peace in every storm, and fight every battle that is beyond your strength. In Jesus' mighty name. If you enjoy powerful Bible stories and life-changing moral lessons like this, please subscribe to this channel. These stories take a lot of time, effort, and prayer to create, and they can inspire and encourage people all around the world.